Hi, Tommy James here. This is an instructional video to help you understand the moves and the concepts that's involved in this ultimate homing card routine. Whichever version you have, I'm going to be demonstrating all the moves with the original ultimate homing card using the zoo animals. Depending on whichever version of the cards you've purchased, whether you purchase the Halloween, which currently I now have available, or if you have the Christmas card version. I plan on making a pirate version. So whichever version you end up buying in the future, just substitute the comeback card for the Freakazoid card. All the moves are the same, the routine, everything is the same, except whatever wording you want to put in. But like I said, the moves and the glide, which I'm going to show you to force the card, is all the same. So first, let's get started with you receive a washer and a pin. This is called a fender washer. They're different from regular washers as they have very small holes. So there's a very big surface for a magnet to attach to. I suggest go to the hardware store. Buy a few of these, buy 4, 5, 6 of them, and put them into different cases. Because if you should happen to change out your clothes, your vest, your coat, and you arrive at a show and you forgot to put this washer inside your jacket or vest, you'll have extra ones to do so. Keep some in your car. These get pinned to the inside, middle, or wherever's comfortable for you. This is the inside of my performing vest. This is an idea brought to my attention by Christopher T. Magician, Christopher Barnes. Chris, thanks for this idea. This is a much better idea than what I've used in the past, using a pin which pokes holes in the back of your performing attire. So let me put my starry vest on. All right, so that's number one thing you must have. You've got because you're going to do a double appearance of the homing card on your back. All right, now first let's get into the card box. Everything here is manufactured by me. I've made this precision made. It comes with a little tool. This is a magnetic locking card box. So after you're done, you can tip the selected card out into the spectator's hands, or you can have the child remove it themselves. They're not going to be aware of this flap. There's a magnet on the end of this tool. Simply place the magnet and you can lift the flap out. That unlocks it. If you forget this little tool, if you hold it steady and just a couple of sharp motions, this will actually fall out. So you don't need the tube, but it might wear on the hinges if you do that. So keep this tool handy. Each homing card theme that I'm going to produce with this, whichever one you have now, there will be 2 force cards. That way, if you're doing different shows or you're doing repeat shows or back-to-back shows, you can change up the force card, so it will be different at the end. So what we're going to do, we don't need this tool here right now. The original homing card comes with a lion or a monkey. Your cards are going to come with different things, okay? Let's choose the lion for this one, and we'll get rid of this one. We don't need that. So you're going to place your card in the non-magnetic side, face up, because you want it to appear face down to keep it suspense at the end of the routine. You're going to place the flap over it, okay? Now you see this will actually fall out. So you want to close this side over this side and keep it there until you need it for the routine, because you're going to open it this way and then close it the other way. And so this flap will fall inside, and at the end of the routine, you might want to give the box a little shake to make sure that that flap is seated properly inside the other side of the box. So when the spectator at the end of the routine opens it, their chosen card is going to be face down. So you can actually let them remove it, and there'll be no fear of the flap coming out, and it'll be their chosen card. Okay, so let's put that to the side. There we go. I like to use a volunteer. This is strong because the magic can happen in the hands, and even adults gasp at this. It really is a great volunteer trick. I suggest you get a ribbon in my Halloween show, I use a yellow ribbon and I tie it around the box. That way it helps to keep the spectator from maybe opening the box prematurely. It's a long routine. If it's a bigger kid, I instruct them to hold their hands like this and hold the box like this throughout the routine. I also have a chair to my sides. If it's so long, sometimes I have the volunteers sit in a chair, put the box on their lap, and I instruct them to put their hands on. I turn the opening the box away from them. It's tied with a ribbon, and have them put their hands on top of it. Also, you're going to be placing cards on your back. If you have a wide audience, you've got to be aware of your angles. If I have a wide audience, I try to get as close to my backdrop as I can to avoid any kind of glimpses of the cards on my back prematurely. And it has happened where kids go, I see something on your back. It's like, quiet, kid. Anyway, so I will position the volunteer ahead of me and to the side because I don't want them to prematurely see the cards on my back either. So they will be up here, seated or standing with their hand, and if they're seated, with their hands on the box. Okay, enough said. So you've showed the box empty, you've closed it, you've wrapped it and tied a ribbon around it. They're holding the box. The timeout house, a brand new concept in my homing card routines. When I developed this new ultimate homing card trick, I discontinued all the rest of my versions. Potty Time, Jurassic Zoo, Santa Skunk in the Magic Chimney, Santa Monkey in the Magic Chimney. There will be Christmas cards available. Maybe they are at this point when you see this routine. I will have Christmas cards and many other different versions. So once you own the main effect, you can buy just the cards to add to your effect for different routines and different themes. The timeout house is self-explanatory. It's a black art principle. The combination of this shiny glass, this glass and the glare upon the glass with this black art panel makes the perfect illusion. I've used this concept in some of my other products that I produced also. So if you see what it looks like with nothing in there, and now I'm going to show you with the panel, it looks exactly the same. So whatever card you're going to place into, it's going to be the Freakazoid in this section. You can actually see the card inside the timeout house by lifting both the panel and the fake. Okay, and then when you want to show that the box is empty, you just lift the front panel, leaving the fake in place, and it's a perfect illusion that the box is empty, that the homing card has escaped. So that's how that works. This picture frame has been used in all my other productions: Santa Skunk in the Magic Chimney, Jurassic Zoo, Potty Time. So here's how to operate the frame. In your routine, you're going to remove one of the homing cards. In this case, it's the Freakazoid. You're going to place it to set up in the back of the frame, so he's facing outward. This is off to your side, because you're going to turn around to get it during the routine, and the kids will see the first homing card on your back. Okay, so that's set up. When it comes time to make the chosen card vanish, and in this case it's going to be the lion, we're going to force the card. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to force the card. The lion will get placed into the picture frame during the routine. Now you're going to cover it. And what you're going to do underneath the cloth is these fingers are actually going to push up on the card, so these fingers can remove the card under the cloth and take it away. So it's going to look like this. Place it into the frame. You're going to say the card is going to disappear through this portal. It's going to transport it into the box. So you cover it. Your hand's going to push up just so your fingers can grab that card, remove it, and show that the lion has disappeared. It's gone, and the kids will immediately call you on that. You're setting this up. You're setting them up down the garden path because they see it's the lion and they think it's going to be the lion again. So it's a total surprise when the Freakazoid appears. So you place this back down in the frame. The second time you're going to cover it, but under cover you're going to turn the frame around. Now if you use your hand and turn it, there's a telltale sign of your elbow turning. All right, it's almost a dead giveaway that you're doing something under the cloth. So I've invented this little move. I call it the scissor move. You're going to do this. That's all you're going to do. This. Bloop. Watch what happens under the cloth. Bloop. So your elbow isn't moving. Your elbow isn't moving. Your hand isn't turning to turn it around under the cloth. You're simply doing a scissor move, and it's flipping the frame around underneath the cloth. So on the second time, you're going to go to cover the cloth. Once again, watch your angles. Excuse me. And under the cover of the cloth, I'm going to just spin it around. You didn't see any telltale sign of my arm moving. And then you're going to perform the same move. So this is the second time. You pull it out, you go, the lion's gone. Once again, the kids see the card under the cloth. They think it's the lion. Total surprise when it comes out and it's the Freakazoid or whichever card you have in your homing card set. All right, so that is how this routine works. So the frame works. So let's put this aside and let's get into the force and the hanging the cards on the back. You've sat the child down or the child is standing to your side with the box. These cards, you don't want to show the first card. If it's the Halloween set, I put them behind. I say, and the patter is, oh, I have something behind my back. It's white, and it goes, woo, and kids will say ghost. You need a reason to put these cards behind your back to attach them to your back, okay? So the washer is back there ready. So you keep the backs to the audience, and you put them behind your back. You say, we are going to have a guessing game. So in this little motion here, I can feel the cards, the two cards, which are magnetic. The first one you can feel is a little thicker. Whichever homing card you have, you can feel thicker magnets in it. The other one has steel shims, so it's thin. You don't feel it, but it will adhere to that one. So you want the one with the steel shims in front of the magnetic one. The magnetic one is the one that's going to be stuck to your back. So with these cards in the back, you put these to the setup is these cards first, the magnetic ones. Then you're going to place 4 of the homing cards on top of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the cards that are in your set can be in any order you want. You don't have to. I like to use the lion because of the pattern in this routine, as you're going to see. So now you're going to get into the routine. Here we go. You put them behind your back. You say, we're going to play a little guessing game. And what you do is I can feel those cards adhere to the magnet. Once they adhere, I kind of loosen my grip and the other cards will just come away. Okay? During the routine, you're going to turn around and expose the first homing card. And to remove it, I like to take it and move it to the side and away like that. You just peel it. Just kind of peel it away softly, leaving the other card on your back for the finale, okay? I think they're lined up back there. So that's how you get the cards on your back. The force is not hard. First, we're going to go through, you're going to show, and you're going to give hints of whichever card you have in your set. You're going to show each one. You're going to say, I have 6. Oh, I have 1 more. The 6th one is toucan, or whatever suit you have, a set of cards you have. The last one, you're going to shuffle the back. You're not going to see it, right? But they're going to see whichever homing card is in your set. In this instance, it's the Freakazoid. You go, Freakazoid! Now, you cannot just remove this because there's another Freakazoid behind you. So it's important you go, Freakazoid, remove him, keep these face down, and say, whichever card is in your set, that's it. If it's the spider, if it's the brown furry spider in your Halloween set, it's you're going to go into timeout. So simply place this into the timeout. You want to lift both panels, showing that your homing card is inside, and put it down. Now you're going to explain to the audience and your volunteer that you're going to begin shuffling the cards. Remember, you now have 3 homing cards here. You have to shuffle by them. 1, 2, 3 in your head as you're patterning. I'm going to shuffle the cards like this. Some way you're going to tell me when to stop. So you want to shuffle past the 3 homing cards that are in your set and display a card. It doesn't matter what it is. So you can tell your volunteer, no matter if you choose the monkey, you can choose the giraffe, whichever one you choose, you explain to them. You're going to make it disappear, fly through the air. It's going to magic happen right in your hands. Now, this is important, and it's a little added feature I have. Whichever homing card set you have, for instance, on this homing card, the Freakazoid, there is a small black star in the upper left corner that the other cards do not have. The set for the Halloween cards has a black star in the upper left corner, and in the center of that star is a little gray silver star that the other cards don't have. So these homing cards are marked so you don't have to look. As I shuffle through, I'm going to shuffle through the cards to mix them up first before Lisa chooses a card. And I'm looking for a card with the mark on it, and I see one right here, and I'm going to shuffle it to the bottom. Now I know there's a Freakazoid on the bottom, okay, without having to look at the faces of it. So a nice little added extra that these other homing card routines didn't have that I produced. Now we're going to perform the glide. And it's not hard to do. And I'm going to give you two versions if you're having an issue with this. The glide is a move used with close-up magic and cards, where you take the bottom card, you're going to shuffle one of your cards to the bottom. This is an exposed view. You're going to push that bottom card about a ½ inch back. Normally it's covered by the hand. In my instruction, in my original video where I showed the demonstration, my studio demonstration, I didn't have my hand. You could probably see me out jog the card. In reality, when I perform this routine, I keep the back of my hand this way. That way they don't see me out jog that little card. Okay, so we're gonna out jog the card and keep the back of your hand to the audience, and you're going to instruct the volunteer. You're going to be removing the second card from the bottom, placing it onto the top. The second card from the bottom. This is going to leave your homing card on the bottom. And you just keep doing that until your volunteer tells you to stop. When they say stop, this is an exposed view, simply square up all the cards, and you're going to show the first homing card, which is a Freakazoid. Now remember, you can't remove this. There might be another Freakazoid behind it. In this case, there isn't. It's a toucan, but I don't know that because I can't see it. So I'm going to turn the stack toward me, remove Freakazoid, and then if there's not another homing card behind it, it's okay. But if there is, you just keep it face down. You go, Freakazoid! You place him into the timeout house, lift both panels, showing it inside. So now he's come back for the first time. Actually, the second time I've seen him, but this is the first time he's escaped from the timeout house. Okay? Now, Lisa, we're going to try this again. Once again, let me shuffle the cards first to mix them. I'm looking for that card with the star. Once I reach that, here's one right here. I'm going to shuffle it to the bottom. Once again, it's going to be whatever homing card you have. You're going to perform the same exact move. Out jog. Okay, all right, so you're going to out jog underneath. It's just push it back a little bit so you can feel the second card and begin to peel the second card and put it on the top. Just keep haphazardly. It doesn't have to be nice. It doesn't have to be pretty. They can be all mixed up. When the volunteer says stop, square them up, the second homing card will appear. Once again, you can't remove that. There's one Freakazoid in here. It could very well be behind here. It's not. But anyway, you have to turn them toward you, remove the homing card, show it. Before I actually do that, when the kids are screaming, I go, what? Freakazoid? Yes, he's right here. You lift only the front panel, and it looks like he's escaped. And he's escaped and come back. Remove him, place it into the timeout house, lift both panels, showing your homing card inside. Now, you can repeat that whole thing for the third time. That's the easiest thing you can do. What I like to do is fan the cards toward me, all right? There's one more homing card in there, and I like to put that in the back, okay? Exposed view, okay? Now I like to go like this. I like to show the 6 cards. What's your angles here? Because you have cards on your back. I'll say, Lisa, you can choose the lion. You can choose the elephant. You peel them away. Just peel them on top of each other. There's 3 cards, 4 cards. I'm going to peel this away. And if you hold the other 2 perfect, you hold them as one. You say, and you show 6 cards without the homing card. So now, like I said, you can do that you can do the three phases just like we did last time. This is just a little different. I'm going to throw this at you. I feel it makes it stronger. The kids have now seen 6 cards with no homing card. So I now know my homing card, the Freakazoid, is second from the bottom. So I take the first card, which is the odd card, and now I'm going to out-jog the Freakazoid and go through the same motions as we just did. I'm going to force the Freakazoid. I know he's second from the bottom. The child says stop, square him up. The homing card escapes for the 3rd time out of the timeout house. Now it doesn't matter. You can just remove them. There's no more homing cards. You place them back into the timeout house. Remember, each time that your homing card appears, don't look at it. The kids will be screaming. They'll be going bananas. First of all, you first look, and yeah, he's right here. Hey, where'd he go? The kids can see he's escaped. And then you finally realize he's escaped. That's the beauty of this timeout house, and it really does work. So now you're in the phase where the child is actually going to choose the force card. So you want to find wherever your force card is. I like to put it second. All right, it's going to be the monkey. All right, I like to give it a little, make sure there's no more Freakazoids. All right, I like to put it second from the bottom. You don't have to. You can put it first from the bottom if you want, okay? And go through the same moves. I like it second from the bottom so they don't see it, all right? So now I know my force card, the monkey, is second from the bottom. I'm going to shuffle the first card to the top. I'm going to perform the move, the glide, pushing that outward. And once again, just taking the second card, just haphazardly. It doesn't have to look pretty, all right? And forcing the monkey or whatever you're going to force on your spectator. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a different version of forcing the cards. Some people might have small hands. Maybe the glide isn't working for you. I'm going to give you a different force, and it's going to work like this. So we have 1, 2, 3. All right. Say, for instance, you shuffle your force card to the bottom. You can now, your force card is in the bottom. You just keep shuffling the cards. Keep shuffling the cards like this, all right? Just keep taking cards and shuffling and keeping your force card on the bottom. Of course, the audience, you're not showing the audience this. You're doing it from underneath. Just let your fingers keep gripping that bottom card, all right? And finally, you can lift it up showing the force card. That's the easiest way to do it, but okay? So that's how to handle the cards. I've showed you how to handle the picture frame, the timeout house. And when you end the routine, you bring the child up, untie the ribbon. You can let them open it, but this box is precision made, okay? And you want to make sure that flap has fallen securely. Just give it a little shake. That will make sure that that flap has settled down into the other half of the box without you opening it and seeing the flap maybe, catching on one of the sides. At that point, you can hand the box back to the volunteer if you want. Have them open it. All right, and like I said, the beauty of the effect, this is a magnetic lock and card box. Just tip it into their hand. They'll hold it. It'll show that, oh, was it the lion? I think we did the lion. I think I was forcing the monkey. Doesn't matter, but whatever force card will now be in the box. I like to sit the child down. Once the child is seated down, that's when we've already, during the routine, you would have peeled one of these cards off, all right, already. So I sit the child down and say, boys and girls, see, the magic happened. It can happen in anybody's hands. And I'll usually have the box in my hand. All right, and I'll turn around to put it away or go back into my case, and the children will see the homing card for the 7th time on your back. Simply reach around, peel it off, and I like to end it by saying, boys and girls, he wants to watch the magic, the end of the show. Shall we let him watch the rest of the show? Okay, we will. We'll let him watch in his timeout house and show him for the last time and then put everything away. So you've got a great routine for kids here. It really is strong. It's got suspense. It's got pandemonium. The kids will go absolutely bananas, trust me. But once again, you have the ability to bring them back down. When it's time for your helper, you have to listen so you can hear your helper. Use that as that point where you bring him back down. Use that by saying, okay, nice and quiet. I have to listen to where little Lisa is going to tell me when to stop. So then it brings it back down. The suspense gets nice and quiet until you show that card. Then all heck breaks loose and the kids pandemonium again. So I hope I've helped you out with the understanding, the forcing, and if you have any questions at all, throw me an email. You shouldn't. It's a very easy, workable routine. The only thing you really have to practice, just to make sure that you get it right, is the glide and the force. So I hope I helped that out. Help you out. Help me out. Help you out. Thanks for watching and thanks for your purchase.